So today I'm going to talk on specific situation I faced recently. 2 days ago I gave another talk, and I don't know, was it too good or too bad, but I was asked to do, told to do another two or maybe even three. So, and I didn't find anything better but saying, okay, okay, so I accepted. Then when I came back to my room and started ruminating a lot on it, quite quickly I became overwhelmed with anxiety and even anger towards myself, because I wasn't able to respond quickly, say no skillfully, in a way that can be understood and acceptable, and as a result not being asked to give any talks in the future. So, so if we all very well know the Shantideva's Bodhicharya Avatara. If there is a problem and you can solve it, so there is no reason to worry. If there is a problem and you can't fix it, there is no reason to worry, I would say either. So I tried to solve it, and with some help, I written a letter to Venerable and trying to humbly excuse myself from doing these talks. And Venerable said, so Venerable Tenzin, if you don't want to give these talks, so that's okay, that's fine. But please give another talk on anxiety. So, so I can't solve it. So no reason to worry, and it will not make any good to worry about this anyway, right? And Venerable encouraged me to look back and think what kind of events in the past actually make me habitually, getting over worrying and anxious. And I have to say I wasn't too successful with that. I looked back and I didn't find anything specific, any trauma, whatever. So it can be very strong imprints from past lives and maybe some negative karma, of course, and that was enforced by some events in my life, probably in junior school and later. So anyway, maybe it's not so important. Most important what I can do right now. So in my previous talk, I quoted Atisha. It was his advice on practice at the moment of death. So he said, lie down in a great expanse of immeasurable thoughts. And I was thinking how I can practice for immeasurable thoughts in this difficult situation I faced. So, and as a loving kindness towards myself, may you be free, may you be happy and have causes of happiness. I thought I was looking that I actually have qualities that can help me to overcome these misery states. That, I'm actually able to do this. And as an act of compassion towards myself, I'm actually going to do something, apply some antidotes. And I was thinking about what kind of antidotes. I think, first of all, we need to have some level of sense of humor, not worrying about making fool of ourselves, right? Otherwise, it's too tight holding to me, poor me. I have to do this incredible, huge works. It's so overloaded. How I can do? I can't. So, and actually, intentionally, I wasn't preparing very well for this talk. As Susan said, to maintain certain level of anxiety, to be real. Actually, not. But to allow myself to be ridiculed anyway and feel more relaxed about that. That's fine. So it's quite clear when you look closely, paying attention closely to the anxiety or fear or whatever, you can see that the real cause is self-centeredness. So, and as antidote to this, another antidote can be paying more attention to others to lessen this self-centeredness. What they need, maybe my work actually can be in some benefit to them. And maybe at this point I will just stop for a while before I continue and ask you to share your experience, how you deal with anxiety. And if you didn't work with this, what kind of obstacles you see, what's preventing you from doing this work. So if you can do, I'm kindly asking you to share your experience.
I went through a period several years ago of some anxiety that came up due to some external circumstances that arose. And what I found most helpful was doing regular loving kindness meditation. It was calming, and also reminded me that I had good qualities. I had some good qualities, so it was very helpful. Working with anxiety, for me, the first thing is to accept that that's what my mind is doing. If I don't do that, then I get into judgment and criticism and, negative states of mind about myself, which then, of course, makes everything worse. So acceptance is a really important part of it for me. And then once I accept it, then it seems like my mind can open, and then I can work with it a little bit. And the antidotes generally I use is if I'm going to give a talk, it's like if I look at my whole life, this is like such a little teeny blip on the screen. It's like, over in a few seconds, really. And so, I don't have to get all wound up about it. Sometimes I'll use the one of, at the time of death, how important is this anxiety going to be for me? Not so big. So those are the two that I use a lot.
I actually engaged in physical activity because sometimes physical activity sort of takes care of that energy, that's nervous energy. And so that helped me a lot relax before the talk. And those are some of my two coping strategies.
A specific example for me was last summer when we were in the full-on schedule of offering retreats. It was becoming more and more apparent that Venerable Children was becoming more and more dissatisfied with our chanting. And so, being a former music teacher, I felt personally responsible for this. And it was getting to the point where I'd go into the chanting session, I'd be sweating, absolutely sweating and trembling. And then one day I said to Venerable Children, I think I can't do it. I'm so upset about it, this not getting any better. And so, as Shantideva said, if there's something you can do something about it. But I also kept in mind that, having taught kids, it took years to get a group to sing in tune. Years. Years. Have you overcome your anger yet? So this is almost... So I realized it's a long-term project, and we didn't have time to rehearse. And so the next thing was we started to have rehearsals, which will resume. And so, it does help. But there are moments still where the anxiety comes back, and I just have to live with it and accept it.
Yeah, it came out quite, common thing like low self-esteem. Yeah, probably that like we are not able to do something, we're not capable to do something, and as an antidote, loving kindness, like Venerable Thubten said, as an antidote to low self-esteem. And yeah, many other examples. Thank you for that. And I will just continue with some other thoughts I had just to finish. Another thing is to think about kindness of others. And in this case, it's for me now thinking about kindness of you, all of you, people I'm going to talk in front of. So even the reason audience can be person who could, we could think, judge us, about something. We can't control anybody's mind. We can only take responsibility for our own mind. So, and it's even there is such person, and he judging us, or think it's ridicule what we are saying, how we're saying. It's not their basis line how they relate to us or treat us. It's really conditioned, So no worry. Another thing, yeah, and to finish with 4 immeasurables. So joyous effort. So we're trying to do it. I'm trying to do it with joy and courage, because I'm not going to do it only for my own sake, but trying to help others, trying to expand my capability. And finally, equanimity. So I'm trying to approach the difficult situation with equanimity, not judging too much, not focusing on, conditions, seeing them badly, because these difficulties, they actually doesn't exist in the way we perceive them often, right? So I'm thinking that I'm not alone with this problem. Yeah, all people knocking. Yeah, that's true. So thank you so much.